Howdy, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of
I want
course.
to see how fast I can do that sometimes.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Okay, today, Brad, we're going to talk about 60-second frozen shoulder exercises and stretches you can do. Frozen shoulder, also known as adhesive capsulitis.
Yep.
And, you know, I like the 60-second idea because everybody's busy.
Right.
They don't have time for this
Right.
frozen shoulder
Right.
thing.
Exactly. We need to get on with life.
So these are exercises you can do throughout the day, and sometimes that's actually better than even doing a whole bunch of exercises
All at once.
All at once.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get your stretches in maybe every hour, every couple hours, and we'll go over what those need to be.
Sure.
By the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us.
And there are some people out there new.
How many?
Well, I see 6.
6 today. Wow, that's
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
big day.
Okay, we have a subscription button here or here, and we provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day.
Excellent.
All right, let's first start off and talk about this strange condition called adhesive capsulitis. Very strange thing in my mind.
Well, yeah, I mean, the name adhesive, it's kind of scary. Frozen shoulder is actually kind of scary.
Frozen shoulder. The thing is about it, Brad, it often comes on with very little trauma. It might come on after surgery. Very common in females, age 40 to 60.
Okay.
That's the common age.
You've done some homework.
I've done some homework. And it's weird to me because the shoulder actually freezes up and then actually it gets better. Right. I mean, this will get better on its own in most cases, but if you don't work with it, it could take, I see up to 3 years sometimes before it gets better. So do you want to suffer with it for 3 years?
Or a few months.
Yeah, right, keep it down. So there's the three phases of what it goes through. The first is the freezing phase, so it's actually tightening down on you.
Right.
The second phase, it's frozen.
That's when it's at its worst.
And then the last is where it starts to thaw out.
Right. So the symptoms are literally, if you got a frozen shoulder, you're lifting like this and it's just tightened up. So
yeah, it's tightened up in every direction. And that's the difference between that and like a rotator cuff tear. Now a rotator cuff tear, you may not be able to lift it, but somebody else can.
Right. Without, being relaxed and get through that range. Yep.
But the hallmark sign, Brad, is, and there is one, with a rotator cuff, you could generally turn your arm out like this. With a frozen shoulder, that direction is almost always limited.
External rotation.
Yeah, so if you put your arm into your side and you can't push it out like this, and it only goes that far, that's a big sign of frozen shoulder.
Right.
Not saying you have that, but that's what it is.
Right.
So, all right, so let's talk about basically we're going to go at this in 3 phases, Brad. In the first phase, you're having a lot of pain because it's starting to freeze up on you.
Yep.
So you're going to want to take some type of, maybe NSAID, non-steroidal, anti-inflammatory.
Ibuprofen.
Aleve or something like that. If it gets really bad, they may even have to give you a shot, corticosteroid or something.
At that point, you're seeing a doctor and they'll make that decision.
So the other thing is, though, you do want to start exercising right away. You do want to start getting some movement.
Right.
So I'm going to try to keep it simple in this phase. We're just going to do 3 of them.
Right.
The first one is flexion. Now you can do that with a pulley system here. Brad, do you want to show how that works?
So flexion is like this.
Yep,
straight up in front of you.
And what's nice about a pulley system is there's the kind you can get, they just hook up over your door.
Right. Yep.
And Brad actually had a video where he showed you how to make one of these.
Right. This is the one we made.
Yeah. And if you see it, it's a reminder to use it.
Exactly.
So everything's just, okay, I'm just going to go out of here for a minute, and I'm going to go ahead and stretch out.
Yeah, and hopefully you don't have this be sitting behind you when you're doing it.
Yeah, he's staring at you.
Well, I know it. Get out of here. All right. So, so we're just going to take your time. This is my good arm. There we go. And we're just going to work it like this. And you're going to go up to the point where it stretches, but you're not going to pull it really hard and get into some sharp pain, are we, Bob?
No.
Yeah.
It's just you're bumping up against the pain, but you do want to hold that stretch for a few seconds on top there.
Yeah.
So we like kind of pressure on, pressure off, pressure on, pressure off.
And for a minute, because that's what these are, minute exercise.
For a minute.
60 seconds.
And if you don't have a pulley system and you want to just start using a cane, you can even do these laying down.
Sure.
You can, I'll be fine, Brad.
Yeah, I know it.
I'm good. So you can just go ahead and again, the one arm helps the other arm.
Right.
So the right arm is helping the left arm, and again, the same thing. Get a little pressure on, pressure off.
You can do this standing up, but when you lay down, it takes the gravity aspect out of it and it makes it a little easier.
And everything's supported real well.
And you can take a nap, but you only got 60 seconds.
Right. And the last one, you probably want to start doing just a little bit of stretching behind you. Start this one where you start pulling up a little bit like this.
Right.
You probably won't be able to go much farther than this, Brad, right now.
If it's so tight you can't get back there, you can just use, use a cane or a stick to start getting that same direction.
Okay. So that's phase one, all right? And that first, phase, the frozen phase, that can go 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
So
what are you looking at over there,
I was looking at the numbers, 3 to 6 months. All right. Phase two. Now let's say the pain has stopped, the freezing has stopped, the pain has stopped. Now it's just, we're going to start working on range of motion.
Right.
And so now we're going to work it in all directions, Brad. We want to get every direction.
Sure. So when he says that, we're talking about flexion, abduction, external rotation, and internal rotation.
Yep. And extension.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So we're going to show
one.
how to do all these. Okay, flexion we already showed on the pulleys.
Right.
And you can also
do it with the cane like
with
this.
The cane,
if
yep.
you want to do it standing.
See how he's done that with one arm lower than the other?
This is the good one. This is the stretching one. Canes work nice because they got the hook. You can put your hand over it like that and rest it a little bit. It's important that you stay relaxed while you do that. Then we go external rotation. Elbow has to be glued into the ribs right there. And then
you can go like
out
that.
like this. So we don't want this going on. We want this. And then not down like this. This is a common mistake people make.
It's about poking me in the eye here, Brad.
Be careful.
Want to show abduction, Brad?
Oh, yeah. Out to the side.
Yep.
Straight out. Elbow stays straight as you can get it. And like that.
Now, usually with that, I like to have the thumb going up, Brad.
Yep. That's a good idea, Bob. Yep.
So that we're staying
it's like you're hitchhiking up to heaven. There you go.
Now, do you want to show abduction on the pulley system, too?
Sure.
You can do that on there, too, if you...
All right. I want to make sure my pulley, oh good, it's back on, okay. This actually works pretty good for internal rotation as well, but here, you can just pull it up to here and get it out.
Same thing again, you can go thumb up on this.
Yep.
Yeah, I have people turn like that, yep.
This works nice and smooth. I like the pulleys for this.
And if you're seated, you'll get up higher even yet.
Yeah.
The pulley will
So if you
bring
do
right
have
up.
pulleys, you could work flexion, and then you could work abduction, and you can also do internal rotation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I never really saw that.
Get that over.
It's got to go all the way around you, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It's got to kind of go like this,
Yep,
doesn't it? Yep.
exactly. And then you can,
Oh, yeah.
and that works pretty good
I
too.
never had people do that one.
Yeah, that's fun.
I've learned something new today.
Should we show them the other method?
Well, yeah. Well, while you're getting ready for that,
Yep.
I'll show them the other one that you.
Don't look,
can you see me? You really want to work on extension. This is actually a really good one to work because a lot of times by improving extension, you improve all the other directions too.
Yep, exactly.
So you're going to have the thumb pointed that way, back behind you, and you're going to go push back like this, and you're going to work extension.
Now,
So
don't
again-
get this mixed up with going out to the side.
Yeah, we're not going out to the side. It's actually going behind me.
Right. Ugh, I see what you mean. You get,
I almost got you.
Yeah, so in theory, you're
Yeah.
actually going to get a shoulder here.
Right, go
There.
back like
it won't
that.
go so high, but you're going to get that shoulder stretch in the anterior of the front part.
Again, you can do these for a minute. Just pressure on,
Yep.
pressure off, getting a little stretch.
If you don't have pulleys, just take a smooth belt, works the best. Put a loop through it like that, and then put it through your wrist like that, and over the shoulder like this, and then you get your pulley system.
Yeah, and the
using-
belt works really well for that because
Yeah.
it's nice and smooth.
Yeah, don't use one of those cheap belts like it's a red one, and then you got a white shirt on if the dye comes off on your shirt.
That's true. That would,
Oh yeah,
I actually did have it happen to some pants once.
Yeah, we got to be careful
Yeah.
about things like that.
All right, so then, you're getting your motion back. Things are starting to feel better. Now, in the final thing you want to do is you're going to start adding some strengthening in.
So this is when it's on the third phase.
Third phase, and things are thawing out, and your range is starting to come back.
You're up to here.
Yeah.
You're starting to get back here.
Because generally
You
what
can
has
get
happened,
back
Brad, is
here.
the shoulder's gotten weaker
Sure.
because you haven't been able to use it like you should.
Exactly.
So this is a good time to add in some strengthening. One you can start off with is just start some shoulder squeezes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
getting those shoulders together. Like Brad
back
always
and
says.
down.
Yep. If you look at the
Shoulder blades go down into the pocket.
Yeah, you want to visualize them going down. That's kind of a strange thing, but it works really well. You can lay prone like this, Brad, and you can do this with weights or without weights, but you can start doing these things where you lift up like this,
Right.
making a field goal. Oh, and then you can go out this way.
And you can do this right on a carpeted
And
floor.
reverse-wise.
If you take a towel roll and you put it right under
Yeah.
your head there.
And then if you want to start working harder, then you just start taking a weight. And now I got about I don't know, is that 1 pound?
That doesn't matter for you, Bob, if it's one or
So,
two. It's all.
Again, I'm making the YMCA. No,
So
see,
you're
it's a
working
Y.
the back. These are really important to get strong. And this is much harder than it looks if you haven't done this before. Boy, Bob, you must be lifting weights. You're tougher than nails.
Solid as like a rock. You can do some external rotation too, laying down on your side.
Go ahead, show them, Bob.
So you're going to work on the outies, as we call them. This is a great one to do.
Yeah.
I really think this is the one that's neglected by a lot of people, so you really want to do this. But I think the easiest way to do it, Brad, is with the stretch band.
Yeah, if you got something to hook it onto, you can do the ones that we've already done. These are the same as what Bob was doing on his stomach.
Right.
Work the same muscles. This one is the outie one that Bob was just showing.
And you can do even innies, can't you,
Yep,
Brad?
and you can do innies here like this. It's just working the opposite muscle group. And you can work, normally I'd have that at a different location. We got to get something to hook these up to.
don't we?
And then you can work some flexion.
Sure.
You're going to have to use some judgment on how to get this hooked up at home.
Otherwise, you can even just take a weight and go up to flexion like this too.
Yeah,
But
and actually, just stand on it with one foot.
sure.
Boy, how we doing, Bob?
All right, Brad. Well, we're doing good.
This feels kind of good.
Remember, Brad, we're not just pretty.
We're pretty ugly.
No, we're pretty handy.
That's
we're
right.
Pretty
we're
helpful.
Helpful, yeah. We're going to help them fix anything out there.
Thanks for watching.